In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up the Facebook Conversions API using the Facebook Conversion API Gateway. Now, this is a brand new way to set the Conversions API up that Facebook have only recently released. And I like this for a couple of reasons. One, it's easy to set up, or relatively easy. It takes no coding ability at all to set this up. And two, it gives you a lot of the advanced functions and features of the Conversions API that some of the other simpler methods don't. So for example, with the Zapier setup, it didn't handle deduplication. So what would always happen there is you would get errors inside the Facebook Ad Manager telling you that your events aren't being deduplicated. That doesn't happen with this method. So this is actually the way that I recommend setting up the Conversion API now for most people. Unless you've got developers in-house, or you know how to code, or you need a really custom setup, this is the best way that I know of to set this up really quickly and easily. Let's get in and have a look how to do it. Step number one, tap the like button on this video if you find it helpful. No, really, it makes a huge difference to the channel. I really do appreciate it if you do hit like. And if you want to hear more from me, make sure you hit subscribe and hit that little bell to get notified whenever I release a new video on Facebook advertising and digital marketing. But now seriously, onto the actual first step, and that is to set up an AWS or Amazon Web Services account. You do need to use AWS for this. There is a tiny monthly cost associated with this. It could be $1, it could be a couple of dollars a month, depending on how much web traffic you get and how much data you're sending via the Conversion API. But for the vast majority of people, this is going to be extremely cheap. So head over to aws.amazon.com and set up your account. So to do that, just click Get Started for free, and then click Get Started for free again. I don't know why you need to do that twice, but we do. Now, if you see this screen, just click Create a new AWS account down the bottom. Enter your email address, choose a password, and give it any account name that you like. I recommend choosing a business account here, enter the rest of your details, and again, click Continue. As I said, this is a paid service, so you do need to enter a credit card here so they can bill you when the time comes. And then finally, confirm your identity. Totally fine to choose the basic support level here, and click Complete Sign Up. Now you just want to go to the AWS Management Console and log in. So enter the login details that you chose while you're setting it up. Okay, so once you've set up your AWS account, the next step is to go over to the Facebook Ad Manager, navigate to the Events Manager screen, and complete the setup on the Facebook side. So we're going to go to Event Manager in case you don't know how to get there. You go to the Ad Manager and then click on the menu and click on Events Manager. From here, you want to go Add Events and choose Using the Conversions API. Now we're going to choose User Partner Integration. We're going to select the Conversions API Gateway. Now, once you see this screen, really simple, just enter your domain. So it's important here to enter your main domain first, and then enter any other domains that you want to be included in this Conversions API setup. So if you have a business that uses multiple domains, make sure you enter them all in here, entering your main domain first. Now, you'll see here it gives you a subdomain, which is perfect, and just click Next. Now that you select your deployment method here, you want to choose your hosting region. You're going to choose any region that you want. I'm going to choose Asia Pacific, Sydney, because that's closest to where I am. Begin deployment once you've done that. Now you can see here that's going to open up your AWS account. I'm not logged in, so I'm just going to log in. Okay, now it's going to present you with a screen that looks like this. What you need to do here is enter your admin email and password. Now you make this up, so choose whichever email you prefer to use for your admin login, and then select any password that you like. It just needs to be at least 12 characters. You can leave everything else the same. Instant type T3 large is great. Do not change the provisioning data here or the admin domain name. Scroll down and tick the I acknowledge box, and then click Create Stack. And now we wait. This will take up to 5 minutes to set up, and you'll see a notification when this step is complete. In the meantime, I'm going to go back over to the Facebook Events Manager and we can complete some more steps there. So here I'm going to click Next. And now we need to set up a DNS record. So we need to go over to our domain provider, not our web host, but whoever we bought our domain name from, and set up a DNS record. If you don't know how to do that, go ahead and Google it. It's pretty straightforward. I'll show you how I do it now with Cloudflare because that's what I'm using. So I'm going to go over to Cloudflare, log into my account, select my domain here, and then I'm going to go up to my DNS settings. Now I want to create an A record here. So I'm going to click Add Record. I'm going to choose A, and then the name is going to be back here in Events Manager, and I want to get this A record name here. So go back over to Cloudflare, paste that in the name. Now to get that IP address, we need to go back over to our AWS setup and get that once it's complete. So when you head back over there, it should look something like this. Hit refresh, then click Stack Info, And you should see here, status create complete. If not, wait a little while longer, hit refresh again until you see in the stack info section that the create is complete. Once you've done that, go over to the outputs tab and you will see just here, it's got an IP address. So you want to grab this IP, copy that, go back over to your DNS settings and enter that IP address as your IPv4 address. Now, because I'm using Cloudflare, I don't want this proxied. For your TTL, you can put that as auto or 1 minute, doesn't really matter there. Hit save, and now you've got your DNS record set up. So if we go back over to the event manager here, you can wait a minute or two to see if that DNS configuration light changes green. In my experience, this doesn't actually turn green. I've waited a long time after setting the DNS up, and it's never actually changed for me. So what I like to do instead is go over to a DNS checker and make sure that my DNS records are set up properly. The one that I like to use is called dnschecker.org. So you can head over here and you simply need to add in your address and choose A and hit search. So I'll show you what address to put in here. Now go back to your output screen here in AWS and grab this address here. So it's the subdomain at whichever domain you set up on. Grab that, copy it, come back over here, paste it into the DNS checker and hit search. Now, if your DNS is set up properly and it's all working, you should see the IP address here matches that in your AWS console. So 325.135.67, and we can see here that they all match. That tells me that my DNS has propagated, it's all working properly, and we're good to go to the next step. So go back over to AWS and click this link just here, okay? Click that. And you're going to see this message that says Conversions API Gateway is provisioning. That means that it's all being set up in the background. It's installing the Conversions API for you. You just need to kick back and wait until this is set up. It could take 10 to 15 minutes as well. So don't stress if this takes a long time. Just sit back, wait, and come back when it's done. Okay, so once that has all set up, it should look something like this, and you'll see a countdown. Wait till the countdown finishes, and then once that's done, your API gateway is ready to go. When the countdown hits 0, hit that button, and it's going to open up a login screen that looks like this. Now you need to enter those login details that you created, the email and the password that you chose when you were setting this up in AWS earlier. So I'm going to do that now and log in. All right, once you log in, you should see a screen that looks something like this. Now, if you then navigate over to your Facebook Events Manager again, what we're going to do is we're just going to tick that DNS check box, go next. Then we're going to just click finish because we're already at the console. You can click go to console here and it would open up for you, but we were already there, so we don't need to do that step. Just going to close that and I'm going to finish this. Now back over in your Conversions API Gateway window, you should see this screen. You can see we've got the Pixel ID here. If you go back to Events Manager and check that, you'll see that it should match right here. And in this case, of course it does. So what you're going to start seeing on this screen now is events coming in as they occur on your website. Now, that's exactly what we want to see. I would actually go to your website and test it. So if I go over to my website now, I'll go to a page that I know is going to trigger a conversion event as well. Check here that my pixel is firing, my conversion event is firing as well. Now I'm going to go back to my conversion event gateway and refresh that one. Sometimes the data takes a little while to update here. So if you don't see your conversion event or your pixel activity right away, give it 15 to 20 minutes, come back and have a look and you should start seeing data. So you can see here, I've got event types. You can see there are 3 here. And event types here, 2 in the outgoing section. That means that my pixel has recorded 3 different event types and I've sent 2 different event types off to the conversion API. Now the reason there's a discrepancy there is because I'm sending the lead event type off to the conversion API, but there are other event types that the pixel tracks that aren't conversion events. So we're not going to be sending those via the conversion API. So that's why you'll see more event types under the pixel here than under the outgoing conversion API section. So keep an eye on this dashboard, make sure that everything is tracking properly, and you'll know that because these numbers will be increasing. You can also go back to the event manager and just check the events here, the lead events and the page view events and whatever other conversion events you're tracking. And if you click on this down arrow, you can actually click on view details and you can start to see where these events are coming through. You can see event overview and the matching here, and these numbers should be increasing. you can also start to look at recent activities, and you can see activities that are coming in and where they're occurring and where they're being tracked. So I can see I've got 2 different browser events here on that URL, and you'll start to see server events coming through as well. That's how you'll know that this is working. But once you've got all this done, you are up and running with the Conversions API. You know you've got a robust setup, and you know you're set up in a way that's going to be doing things like event deduplication and everything else that it needs to do really quickly and easily. If you want to learn more about what's changing and how my strategy and things are changing with Facebook ads, there's a video right here you can check out now that's going to walk you through a few different things that I used to do that I no longer do anymore because of the way Facebook ads have evolved. Thanks for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.